What's up, guys? I'm back with another video. This one was actually requested a bunch of times in my Instagram DMs. I've gotten messages on Facebook, and actually on my last YouTube video there was a girl, I forget her username, I'm so sorry, but thank you. I just wanted to say thank you to her for requesting this video because it's something that I've been meaning to do and I had it in the back of my mind, but there's been a lot going on and I was just really unmotivated to actually film the video, but here I am. So I'm sorry that I haven't put out a video in a while. I meant to record and upload Kennedy. Well, me, my mom, and Kennedy went to Mexico, and me being the most amazing YouTuber in the world, I left my camera charger here in the States. So I haven't even looked at the footage that I did get because I've just been really upset with myself for effing up like that. So yeah, maybe I'll try to put together some sort of like makeshift video situation, but it might not happen. But I have another trip coming up, so I will be sure to vlog that. With the new year starting and the airlines are hiring right now, I figured this was a great time to put out this video. So, you know, all the stars aligned and here we are. Today I'm going to be talking about how I survived flight attendant training. There's a lot of videos about what to pack and things like that, so I'm just going to kind of give my perspective. These are the things that I did to survive. There are some things that I wish I'd done more of, or things that I did that I felt really helped me. So that is what today's video is going to be about. So if you're into that kind of thing, if that's something that you want to know, just stay tuned and we'll get started. Number one, save your money. You will know that you are going to flight attendant training maybe like a couple months or a month or 2 months or whatever before you actually go to training. So what I did is, at the time I was working 2 jobs. I told my friends I couldn't go anywhere. I worked like crazy. I was picking up shifts and doing all these things just to make sure that when I left, things were handled. So if it's possible for you, I would suggest to try to work as much as you can, and you're gonna have to sacrifice your social life a little bit to pay your bills, at least up until you get out of training. If it's possible. Some people it's not possible for. And don't think that you can't go to flight attendant training because the money, you know what, those bills always get paid. Our lights never go off. So do what you have to do. But that's what I did. I worked and worked, paid my bills a little bit in advance just to give me some leeway. And if all else fails, get a credit card. Once your checks start coming in, you'll be fine. Number 2, I always do this. I cannot read my own handwriting. This is crazy. Like, what the fuck is this? Oh, okay. I had a brunch before I left. That was just kind of a way to see all of my friends at one time. We talked about what I was going to be going to do and what they can expect from me. And it was just a really nice thing to like get together with everyone, to just have one last like hoorah before you go to flight attendant boot camp. And then it's also, of course, really important to have the conversation with your kid, if you have one, about, you know, where you're going, what you're going to be doing, how long you're going to be gone. It was really important for me to reassure Kennedy that I was going to be calling her all the time, and you know, we're gonna talk. And I kind of just told her, you know, you're gonna be hanging out with dad and grandma, and mommy's gonna be gone for a little bit. And Kennedy, if you know Kennedy, she was like, girl, all you had to say was that I was gonna be with my dad and my grandma, and I'm set, I'm having fun, call me and we'll talk later. So she was fine. For your training group, usually you have a number. Like my training group was class 1809, and so I knew that if I searched my airline training 1809 or something, there was probably going to be some sort of Facebook group, and there was. And so that was really helpful because we all kind of like bounced ideas off of each other. It was a nice way to like temperature check to see how everyone else was feeling, to make sure that if there was something that I needed to do before I left, or, you know, it was just a really nice way to stay current and just to kind of keep in touch with people that were kind of going through the same thing that you're going through, preparing for training, because it can be really stressful. And I actually met a friend who's now my friend, but he lived in the same city as me, so we were able to like link up, and I actually saw him at the airport when we were leaving, and we're still friends now because he's actually based in Chicago like I am. But see who's in your city, and, you know, get together if you can, and, you know, make friends, because that's going to be really, really important to have someone that you can relate to, because you're going to a situation that's completely foreign, and it's just really nice to know someone while you're doing that. Number 4 is do not stress. You're gonna get a lot of information before training that you should become acquainted with. You should become familiar with all of the information that your airline recommends you to look at before you go. But you're gonna have so many things going on, and you do not want to waste time trying to like carve all of this information into your brain, because you're not gonna get to training and be tested on everything you need to know during the whole 7 weeks or 6 weeks or whatever on the first day. You're going to learn what you need to know. So become acquainted with the information that your airline recommends you to become familiar with, but don't stress yourself out, because you will waste a lot of time, and a lot of energy will be misdirected misguided, because you could have been focusing on getting your ducks in a row at home, and instead you were like studying other things that you may or may not need to know that well. So I would definitely recommend that you just take a deep breath. Everything is gonna be okay. Make friends, okay? Like I said in the last video, when I got to training, I found my tribe. I found people that I still talk to every single day, and I met them pretty much all the first week of training. It is so important to find people that think like you, enjoy the same things as you, because you're in a situation where all of your friendships, if you have them, are going to be forced. So take your time to feel out everybody, and just try your best to find people that get you, because you are going to be in a space with people who may not understand you or may not used to people like you. So everyone is going through the same thing. Training is scary for, I think, everyone, and there are people that are like, I'm not here to make friends, and that's okay. But for me, my friends saved me, because there were times where I literally cry just because I am an emotional wreck sometimes, and my friends were there for me. And I didn't cry because training was like super like tough, but I like missed home, and I was actually in training during Mother's Day, and it was just like really hard at times. So I would just say make friends, because it's gonna make the experience so much more memorable and so much less scary. So yeah, just make sure you find at least one person that you get along with, that you can study with, that you can go out with, that you can talk to, that you can do whatever it is that you like to do with, because it really changes the whole experience. Like I can't imagine training without my friends, because I love them. It's my babes. Love you guys. Learn what study method best suits you, because some people like to study alone. Some people like to study in groups. Some people like to study electronically. Some people like to make physical flashcards. And so it's going to be really important to figure out how you best retain information, because that's pretty much all the training is. It's just retaining, taking in and retaining information that is you're going to be tested on. So Personally, I found that I study best in groups, and actually all of these years I thought that I studied best alone, and I actually don't. I found now from training that I retain information the best being in a group setting, because someone may say or explain something in a way that I did not think of it on my own, and it helps me remember it that way. So I would say just figure out what works best for you and stick with that. But definitely don't be afraid to like get some people together and study together, because sometimes you may have missed a note that somebody else didn't miss, or you're able to kind of talk through things and like get through it that way. So I would say number 6, whatever number this is, learn your study method. Number 7, so we got to training, we made our friends, we have our money, everything, we have everything that we need. Now we're actually going to start learning stuff. And there are going to be people that are in charge of teaching you those things. So number 7, my tip number 7 would be to get acquainted with your instructors. They are not there to fail you. They are there to see you succeed. These are the people that have the keys that you need to graduate. So I would recommend, and I'm sure any college student would recommend, to get to know them. Make sure they know your face. If you're struggling with something, you don't want to feel uncomfortable because you're going to a complete stranger to ask them questions. You really want to know your instructors. You want to, know them on a personal level, because it just makes it so much easier to feel like you have a support system when you're so far away from home. Like I loved my instructors. My whole class ended up being like one big family, so that was really nice. But I think that getting to know your instructors really helps, because it cuts down on the anxiety of like the testing environment and things like that. It starts to feel more like, I don't really know how to explain it. I don't even know why I'm going off on this tangent right now, but you know what I'm saying. Get to know them, because it's gonna really help you in the end. Number 8 is probably really important to me, because y'all know I love a FaceTime, and if you are my friend, I will call you until you answer me. That's just life. But I would say that it's really important to make sure that you carve out some time in each day if you can, and if you can't, don't beat yourself up about it, but as often as you can, make sure you give a call to your kids and your friends or your spouse. On FaceTime is the preferred method for me, but if that's just over the phone call, that's fine too. Just because you really do, you want to keep in contact, and being able to see someone face to face is really nice when you're so far from home. Again, I would call Kennedy almost every day, and she's like, okay, I'm gonna call you back now, I'm busy. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, it was good talking to you, so. But it just really made me feel good to be able to like talk to her when I wanted to. And luckily, California is 2 hours behind Texas. So even if I got out of class at 11 or 10 p.m., I was still able to call her because she was still awake because of the time difference. So that was really nice. But it is really important to keep in contact and, just keep a little bit of home with you by staying in touch. You don't want to isolate yourself from the outside world. Some people say that that's helpful, but for me, it just wasn't realistic. It actually was more helpful for me to stay in tune with what my friends were doing and things like that, because otherwise I would have been completely miserable, and that's not fun. So number 9, I highly recommend, it's like a 2-part thing. I highly recommend journaling and also making sure that you have some time alone, whether that is your long shower at the end of the day or your gym session, or even if you just go out to the pool, or I don't know if you guys will have a pool, but if you do and that's what you like to do, make sure that you make some time for yourself, because trying to juggle all of the things that you will be asked to juggle in training is really tough when you're not making the appropriate time for yourself. Make sure that you stay in tune with yourself. Check in with yourself sometime. How are we feeling today? What did we do yesterday that we didn't like? How can we refocus our energy today? How can I make tomorrow a better day than today was? just those kinds of things. It's just really important to check in with yourself and to allow yourself the time to do so. Well, if you're anything like me, you're going to be dealing with a lot of mental static. You know, you're missing home, you're hoping that you're doing the right thing, you have a lot of doubt, the tests are kind of hard, you miss your friends, you miss your bed, you're out of your element. And so it's just really, really important to remember to take care of yourself. Just take care of yourself, whatever way you see fit. Make sure that you are paying attention to your body and how you feel and doing everything that you can to keep your energy good. And number 10, make sure that you have fun. Like, you're gonna be so well, I was super guilty for being away from home, and so at first I started to punish myself, I don't deserve to go out and blah blah blah. But you know what? At one point I was like, you know, I'm in a city that I've never been in with people that I think are really cool and really fun. Let's go do something. So we started going to brunch and we started going out on our days off, and it just made the experience so enjoyable. So make sure that you pack clothes to go out. Make sure you pack your little cute little fits that you're gonna want to wear and that you're gonna feel good in. Pack 25 pairs of eyelashes because you're gonna need them, and all of your makeup and just all of the things that make you feel good, okay? Because it's gonna be very important to enjoy yourself. When you get a day off, make sure that you go out, hit the town, grab your girls, you know, do the things, because it's going to suck. Training sucks if you don't enjoy yourself. So make sure that you make some time to make yourself feel good. If you're not the party kind of person, maybe that tip is not for you. But for most people that I know, it's very important to enjoy yourself, because in hindsight, I wish that I went out and stuff, but I was in my head a lot during training, and so I wish that I would have just taken a step back and really enjoyed the experience for what it was, because that would have made so much of a difference for me. So just enjoy yourself. This is a one-of-a-kind experience, and you have to remind yourself that you are lucky to be here and you are very blessed. You are in the room for a reason. You got there by all of your hard work, and you are not there by mistake. So enjoy yourself. Those are my 10 tips. Thank you again so much for watching. I said in my video before that I really just wanted to be able to answer a lot of unanswered questions for people and just reassure that this is something that's doable for people. And I've gotten so many messages about how grateful that people were that I put out these videos, and so that makes me feel so good. Like, you guys don't even know how much that means to me. So I just want to really say thank you for watching me. I think it's great that you guys like me, and stay tuned for our next video. If there's anything that I didn't talk about or talk enough about, always feel free to reach out to me in my YouTube comments, reach out to me on Instagram, whatever you see fit. I am here to answer all of your questions. So just give me a little notification and we'll get through it, okay? But seriously, thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Like, comment, and subscribe. You know the deal. Thank you again. See you guys next time.